Hello everybody and welcome to That's Football. It's great to be back after a couple of days off in Dublin, and I tell you what, you go away for a couple of days and West Ham become the most successful team in London this season. Fantastic. And we're going to start with West Ham. I also want to talk about what's going on with the Saudi League and the ridiculous amounts of money they're throwing. What does that mean for football, and should we be concerned about it? Should we embrace it? Zaha, Kante, Son, there's loads of players being linked with it. What does it mean? But let's get into the big story. Declan Rice will leave West Ham this summer and he's going to go to Arsenal. Arsenal fans, get excited. Let us know what you think. Obviously, West Ham won last night. Declan Rice lifted a trophy. It's the perfect time to go. There's absolutely no reason for West Ham fans to think there's a slim chance that he might stay. He's got to move on. He wants to play Champions League football, wants to take his game to the next level, and I think West Ham fans, quite rightly, much the same as Spurs fans with Harry Kane, should be going, look, our club doesn't match the ambitions of that player. The funny thing is, if Manchester United mess up the Qatar deal, there could be a scenario where West Ham become owned by by Qatar, and then suddenly Declan Rice has left the wrong club, hasn't he? But where we're at the moment is the West Ham chairman has said Declan can go. We made a promise to him; it wouldn't matter what we would offer him. Arsenal is the club he's going to at the moment. Effectively, Arsenal have been working on this deal since January. They held talks with Declan Rice in January. They're ready to put the official bid in, but there's a lot of work been done around it. Chelsea sort of missed the boat and are a mess. Obviously, we know Mason Mount wants to leave there, and Declan Rice is very close to Mason Mount, and I think his dream had always been to go to Chelsea, but the way Chelsea have fell off recently, Arsenal is now the club that he prefers. Where are Man United and Man City in this game? I mean, you never know with Man City. I don't think they're going to do anything. From a Manchester United point of view, very interested in Declan Rice, and Declan Rice has always spoke glowingly about Manchester United. But Arsenal have made the biggest play. Arsenal have got the money, and Arsenal are making him their priority signing. United do like Declan Rice, would like to sign Declan Rice, but with the lack of a sale, they don't have the funds to do it. They're sort of working on Mount. They need a striker. They can't buy Rice because it's going to cost 90 million. And that 90 million might not be there, because if you spend 90 million on Rice, you might only have another 60 million in your budget. All right, Mason Mount, shit, we haven't got a striker. So Arsenal in a very strong strong position for Rice. And I think that what we're hearing is that Arsenal Arsenal want to have an impactful summer. They're disappointed with what happened with the league. They want to, give their fans a boost, get some momentum going for next year, and Declan Rice is their priority. So let's get that deal done in the next couple of weeks. That bid's ready to go in now that West Ham have obviously played and won that Conference League final. So expect big movements around Arsenal and Declan Rice very, very soon. Bayern Munich are interested. I don't think Rice is interested in leaving the Premier League. I don't think he should be leaving the Premier League. So Arsenal, Declan Rice looks very good. What are your thoughts on that in the chat? I think Arsenal last year were very good, but ultimately Partey and Xhaka, Declan Rice would be an upgrade on them. They're talking about Caicedo as well. Is there a chance that Arsenal miss out? Well, look, there's always a chance. Arsenal were going to get Rafinha last summer, and he ended up going to Chelsea and then to Barcelona. So things can happen, and he is a player that's admired by a lot of people. I would never rule out Man United, Man City swooping in, but I think Arsenal have made the play, and Declan Rice is the sort of player that values that. He values the interest. He values the teams that want him, and also West Ham value the club that's got the money for it. So Declan Rice to Arsenal, definitely at this moment in time, looks like it's going to happen. And we were talking about this a couple of weeks ago about Alexi McAllister saying that deal was basically done. Lo and behold, it is done. £35 million. I can't speak. What the bloody hell's that? £35 million. £35 million for Alexi McAllister. Manchester United paid 80 for Harry Maguire 3 years ago. 50 for Wan-Bissaka. Prices are meant to be going up, not down. What a deal that is for Liverpool. But of course, the exciting thing for you Liverpool fans is that you've just gone and bought a really good Premier League midfielder that a lot of people would want for 35 million. You might not have been surprised if you'd paid 60, 70. So you've just given yourself another 35 million to go and spend on somebody else. You need to buy quantity as well as quality. And you've got a great opportunity to go and do that now. Great deal for them. And obviously Liverpool and Arsenal making moves at the moment. Caicedo's one to keep an eye on. Again, I think there's a I think there's a very good chance that Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea and Arsenal will go for Caicedo, and I think Brighton will make good money on that. The only interesting thing is, I wonder if he's got a release clause like Alexis McAllister, because that was ridiculously low. The second thing I wanted to talk about on the show today was the Saudi League thing that's going on. I thought we were going to be announcing Messi there. Kante's heading there. Zaha's been made an option. Son, Mahrez, Gundogan. There is a massive amount of money in the Saudi League at the moment. Apparently it's coming in from the Sovereign Wealth Fund, which surely would have links to the Newcastle ownership. But that's irrelevant. You're going to get all the sports washing allegations, etc. But there is a huge amount of money, and that's what I want to talk about. Imagine if they took 10 of the best players from the Premier League and put them in the Saudi League. Would you watch it? That's what I'm interested in. Would you watch it? Because I won't watch it. To me, they tried to do this in America in the 70s, apparently. They had like Beckenbauer and Best and everyone like that. We've seen it with the Chinese League to a lesser extent. They spent a lot of money on players that weren't really superstars. This is the first time we've seen like the Ronaldos and there's even talk of Neymar, Son next year, Kante's going there. I mean, there's still top players coming towards the end. They're not at their best, but if they buy 10, 20, 30 and they start taking people like Mahrez, and I'm not saying Mahrez will go, and Son and etc., those players make life-changing money. I mean, you're talking about £40 million a year for someone like Zaha, which is amazing, absolutely amazing. I mean, if you think about 200 grand a week, it's about 10 million a year, isn't it? So you're making about a million, just under £1 million a week. It's incredible money. And how sustainable is it? I mean, the thing that gets me is I don't get how it ever becomes something, because you basically you're paying such ridiculous money for 10, 20 players, but actually you're going to need 300 players to make that league interesting, because you need every team to be packed of players that you want to watch. You're not in Europe, so you can't be in the Champions League. You've got to make it into like the Saudi Super League. So you've got to take about 300 players in there, and then have a revolving door of talent coming through. So I just think at the end of the day, you can't knock a player going, I'm going to earn 40, 50, 60 million pounds a year. But I don't think it's going to make people watch it. It might make them watch it as a novelty, a little bit like people watch the Chinese League or the MLS, etc. But I don't see what the game plan is, because your league in Saudi Arabia, I just don't think people are going to watch it. I mean, it will. I just don't see it working. But the amount of money that's there, I suppose the question is, one, will you watch it? And two, is it a threat to European football, the Champions League, the Premier League? Honestly, I don't think so. I think you will get some big name players who go, and it won't necessarily be people who are 35. I think you will get some people in their late 20s, maybe their mid 20s going, because that happened with the Chinese League as well. But ultimately, it's not really making me want to watch it. It just feels to me like it's a bit of a franchise, a bit of a, and what do they call it? Exhibition football. Oh, look, Ronaldo's playing for them, and Benzema's playing for them, and Messi's playing for them, and they've got Gundogan. It feels like franchise football. Like, this is a team with not very good players, but everyone's got a superstar in it. It looks like they're going down that route, and some people will watch it. But when I look at these sort of things, if I was trying to make that league compete with, first of all, you've got to compete with Eredivisie, Serie A, the lower leagues, and then you've got to try and get the Premier League and the Champions League. And I think the way to do that is not to just chuck stupid money at players. I mean, at the end of the day, giving Kante £100 million a year is ridiculous. That's just stupid money. But we've all probably got ideas about how you could do it. Give us your comments on it. Anyway, it's great to be back. I'm on the United Stand live at 8 o'clock tonight if you're a United fan or you just want to tune in. But we're back now on That's Football. And of course, we've got this Champions League final on Saturday night, which I will be doing, Inter against Man City. But it's good to be back. Loads of stuff going to be going on. We've got a journalist called Fabrizio Romano who's going to be on this channel on Monday, giving us general transfer news now. So lots of things happening on That's Football. Make sure you smash a like and subscribe. I'll speak to you all soon.